this new. All right, welcome everybody to the Tuesday afternoon team call. I know here in the US, it's Thanksgiving week, so we have a few new faces of people that usually can't get on because of work. So I'm excited about that. Kim, can you hear now? Okay. Anyhow, I want to wish all of you guys a happy Thanksgiving, and happy that you guys are here. As you guys know, last week on our team call, we have these 10 questions that we're going through to help you break through in any area of your life. And we only got through 5 of them. So we have 5 more questions to go through. And I'm just going to be asking you guys to participate, to answer the questions. And, if somebody shares something and you have some insight for them, feel free to share or uplift or encourage or give advice to them. So the only announcement that I can really make is keep working hard on your goals. The month is not over. I think it's important that we each set our goals for Success Club monthly. It just shows that you are doing the daily consistent activities of building your business, which is outside of your own transformation, your personal development, which is marketing, making connections, bringing on new customers and clients. I want you to think about it in any other job. If you sold cars or you sold houses, like you wouldn't have a livelihood or an income unless you made sales monthly. So I think that's the important part of Success Club, but I also want you to know that it's not the end all be all. There's cool reward programs to it, but if you hit Success Club 3 months and then you miss it, doesn't mean you're a failure. It just means you missed your sales goal 1 month, and then next month pick up and continue forward and set new goals. I like to relate things to outside of coaching. Like, let's say you sell cars and you sold your goal of cars 3 months in a row, and then you were 1 short the next month. Does that mean you suck at selling cars? No, it just means you need to do more work, adjust your approach, and be like, okay, was I shy on the lot? Was I not as friendly? Was I going through something in my life and maybe I had a mean looking face on and I wasn't as approachable, whatever it might be, right? So just adjust your approach, learn new skills, and keep moving forward. So we're going to move right on to the 6th question that was on this list of 10 questions. And this question is, and I'll copy them all to the chat, is what do you do that continues to keep limiting your success? What do you do that continues to keep limiting your success? 1 second. What is it? What? Okay. So what do you do that continues to keep limiting your success? And I'm going to ask Lacey.
Hang on, I have my earbud in. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
With my earbud in? Okay.
Yeah.
So I feel like what limits my success is worrying. Number 1, worrying about what other people think of me.
Okay.
Because it's hard not to think that with every single post or every single thing you put up, that someone's judging you for sure. But I should stop doing that because I get way more positive feedback, and I never have anybody say that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Nobody says that. Instead, most people are like, oh yeah, I thought that too. Or I get way more positive feedback. I don't know why I continue to think that, but I just need to get over that in myself and continue to post things, especially vulnerable things. I did a more vulnerable post last week, and I got a lot of great feedback from that. And so I know that I just need to keep putting myself out there. I just have to get past that block every single day. It's like a thing. So that's one thing holding me back.
My next question would be, are you going to stop letting that hold you back?
Yes, I am going to stop letting that hold me back.
Awesome. I love that. I'm going to share a small example. So Lacey and I went to high school together, which is cool. There was someone from our high school, Lacey, and this is for everybody else that might have a family member or a friend. We were really good friends. And as a matter of fact, as you guys know, the beginning of our story, I worked 5 to 5. We dropped our kids off at a babysitter, and then Gabby worked nights. Well, it turns out that the husband of the woman that watched our kids, so I want you to make sure you guys understand who this is. This is somebody that watched our kids while I worked a 12-hour shift and my wife went to work at nights, and they own their own business. And his wife, he owns his own business. His wife stays at home. Anyhow, I didn't know this, but about a year after my journey, he's like, hey, can I come over? I got to talk to you about something. I'm like, okay, sure. And he came over, he sat on the couch right next to me, and he put his hand on my knee, and he's like, I have to say sorry. I have to apologize to you. I'm like, about what? And he's like, well, like all of our friends from high school, I started like telling them like, hey, if Scotty reaches out to you, he's just trying to get ahead. He's just trying to sell stuff on Facebook. Just ignore him. And I'm like, what? You said that? And he's like, I apologize for that, but I see that what you're doing really helps people. And I just want to say sorry that I did that, even though I didn't know. So my advice, as some of you might be holding back because of what people might say, is, and I've been hearing this a lot in branding podcasts, with branding from Rory Vaden, is he was talking about, especially when you're just beginning, is to worry more about your reputation than about making the sales. And what he means by that is, don't rush to, I know we have Success Club goals and all that. Don't rush to like jump into inboxes and try to make a sell quick. Focus more on your reputation, and your reputation comes from, are you showing up? Are you a positive influence? Are you adding value? And build your reputation, and the rest will follow. And so if you're worried about what people might say, I think just know in your heart, first of all, what you're doing is helping people. What you're doing is adding value, whether it's if they buy something from you or not, but what you're putting out on social media is adding value to people's lives. Or, if it's something that's funny, it's adding humor and, light to their life versus controversy or like doom and gloom about all the bad things that are going on, or politics. So just be a light to people. And then Les Brown, my favorite quote from Les Brown: other people's opinions of you do not define your reality. So cool. Let's get one more, because I'm trying to time out the questions here. So I'm going to ask next. Kim, can you talk? Can you talk?
Can
Okay.
you hear me?
Yep. What do you do that continues to keep limiting your success?
I keep myself extra busy doing other things instead of actually working on this.
Yeah.
I have an incredibly busy life. I work full time for a hospital. I also teach and choreograph for 5 different groups. So it's really easy for me to push it off and say, I'll do that tomorrow. I'll do that tomorrow. I'll do that tomorrow. And as you've been familiar with my dance stuff for the last few years, when dance season kind of kicks off, it's extremely busy and extremely physically demanding for me.
Mhm.
So that makes it very convenient to just not do the inviting and not do just the things I need to do. And I know that. I had an interesting, I guess, wake up call, if you will. My guy, who we live together, had been together for a while, he decided to quit his job yesterday. And which is a good thing. It's a good thing. He's always done sales and design for a very big remodeling company here in the Midwest. And he had been doing some stuff on the side and decided to walk away from this very lucrative position to kind of pursue what he really wanted to do, and has been very successful with it. And that was kind of just what I needed when I needed it, to say, get your ass back in gear. And really, if you want this, then go after it. Nobody's going to do it for you. Which I need to take my own advice sometimes. You know, I'm a good coach when it comes to my dance kids and my students and, you know, my teams, but then I tend to lack on myself, and it's my own fault. And I know that.
I can hear in all of your speaking that you're not using excuses like I don't have time, I'm too busy. You are busy, but I love that you share that I know that I need to do this. I know that I distract myself with other things when I'm busy. So I'm excited to see you break through and do that. My question, similar to the one for Lacey, are you going to get focused on the right activities that you need to do for your business? And can you find the time to do that?
Oh, I can find the time to do it. I can. I know I can. One thing that I'm very good at my day job is being organized and staying organized and putting processes in place to keep myself in check. And that's just something that I haven't done with this. And I've stalled on it, and I know I've stalled on it, and I just have to do it. And even if that takes a little bit of time up front to kind of get myself into that groove, I know I can do it. I just haven't. And like I said, given myself every other excuse to not do it, but I know I can. I mean, I've obviously built my dance career and my science career off of consistency and organization. And why am I not using those strengths here?
Yeah, you totally are going to do it, Kim. So I have to tell you guys, Kim puts a post on, she posts on social media every single day without missing, and she tags me. So in my inbox on Instagram, every day I see a post from Kim, and almost every day, right, I click on it and then I comment on your stuff. It's like she's the most consistent poster on social media. So Kim, my advice to you, and this is for everybody on here, is use the business activity tracker, however it is that you need to organize each of your days, and just believe in yourself, believe that the products will change someone's life, believe that the opportunity will work for you and for anybody that you invite if they put in the work, and then do the tracker every day. And more importantly, because I know looking at everybody on here, you're doing your workout, you're drinking your shake. Most of you are posting on some social media consistently. The next step is just the really unsexy part that doesn't seem very magic, but it's all of the magic, which is having conversations with new people, like meeting new people, expanding your network, genuinely caring about them, reaching out to them. So Kim, I want you to think about your dance career. Like, how do you meet new dancers? Is it word of mouth? How do you get them connected? And then apply all of those things into your business as well. Awesome. Okay, let's go to the next question. And then make sure that you're each answering these individually too, and even after the call, maybe expanding on it a little bit. What are you most passionate about in your life? What are you most passionate about in your life? Let's see, who could we ask this time? Elizabeth, I'm going to ask you. What are you most passionate about in your life?
Right now, it's my kids. Just making sure they grow up healthy, making sure they grow up stable. I've always been overweight, so teaching them the healthy habits, because I think if it starts with me, it will trickle down to him, or they're going to get into healthier habits. Sorry, there's construction going all around, so
That's
it
all right.
gets pretty loud in here. But other than that, I have an extreme passion for those extremely overweight people just taking that first step. I mean, it brings me to tears sometimes. It's just like, I wish I could solve that problem in the world, that you could get that 400 to 500 pound person to just see how worthy they are, that if they just take that first step, even if it takes 5-10 years to get healthy, that they can do it. They're worth it. You know, they're amazing. They're strong. They're so much stronger than they think. It's just figuring out how to turn that passion into actual actions for those people, because I've been that person, to actually take the steps to do it. So my kids and solving the world obesity problem.
I love that. That's two great things to be passionate about. I think the kids is a powerful one because you're being that example. You're showing the way and you continue to show up and show the way. So that's powerful. As far as your passion for helping other people, come from where you are at, start the healthy lifestyle changes, even if I love they say, even if it takes 10 years. Rory, I'm going to mention Rory Vaden a lot because I listen to his pod. I'm working on my own branding. So he says, you're most powerfully positioned to help the person that you once were. So you are powerfully positioned with where you're at. Remind everybody on this call that might not know, how much have you lost so far?
140 pounds.
140 pounds. Isn't that awesome? Like that is absolutely incredible. So you are in a great position, more than anyone that I see on this call, to help that specific person. And so I just want to remind you, along with, I know everybody else on here is going to be nodding as well, is like, go out and help them. Like, obviously we know that you can't do it for them. You can't force them to make any of those choices, but you can be that friend to them. You can lift them up, and you can stay committed to your goals. And I think one of the biggest ways for me, and I think for others as well, is to grow your self-confidence and your self-esteem. The best way is to serve other people. So although we want to sell the total solution pack, get Success Club points, earn the commissions, and you should absolutely strive to do that because that is the best solution we know that will help somebody, is all of these people that you're connecting with, Elizabeth, help them with, even prior to the purchase. Let's start walking, like I would add them to your group, get them, let's start walking 10 minutes a day. Let's replace the soda with water. Let's start listening to this podcast together, or this book together, and start helping change their mindset, some of their simple habits. So they start to see some small wins, and then they'll be like, okay, Elizabeth knows what she's doing. She's been through this. And then they'll purchase something when the time is right for them. Because they might, when I think about that, they might struggle to believe that it's possible for them to lose the weight, or for them to even get started. It might be too overwhelming. So my biggest advice was help them with some of those small steps, whether they buy from you or not. And I think that goes for everybody here as well, is serving people without making them buy anything. But I love that. Anybody else want to answer that question? And if not, I can call on someone. The question once again was, what are you most passionate about in your life? I'm going to ask Jamie. Oh,
Go ahead. Go ahead, Jamie.
Jamie, it's yours.
There we go. As soon as I figure out how to unmute myself. What am I most passionate about in life? My boys. I want to raise them into good men. And, it's so important.
I love that. So what are the things, or what are the steps you are taking? What things can you do to help raise them into good men?
Just, how to treat people, treat people the way you want to be treated. And, don't make everything about you, which is, what we do here at Beachbody. Don't make it all about you. It's about them.
Absolutely. I love that. And I think there's a lot of lessons we can learn through coaching. And I think once you grab that big picture of like, it's not just hit Success Club, earn commissions, get to Ruby or Emerald, Ruby, Diamond, but really dive in, learn through your personal development, through your workouts, and learn through helping other people, that you really realize that, this is much bigger than just selling a shake and some workouts. I think one of the biggest things for me personally is, like, why am I here 12 years later? It's because it's become a habit, but it's by helping people consistently, and then being in love with that process of serving something greater than yourself. 1 second. What is it, bud? Okay. he missed the memo to give me 1 hour, but that's all right. Okay, I love that, Jimmy. Laura, you were gonna say something. I would love to hear what you wanted to share.
Well, for me, my biggest passion is my relationship with my Savior. He tapped me on the shoulder in 2019 and said it was time for me to retire from my career as a 23-year massage therapist. And I freaked out. I mean, it was the most I've ever heard from him as far as like a physical thing for me. And he said, "Do you trust me?" And I said, yes. And one thing led to another. And last year in December, I was led to this team. And it's just been phenomenal. Everything's so different for me now. So I would say, you know, trust your instincts, trust your whoever, whether you believe in God or you believe in a higher power, whether you believe in Buddha, I don't care what you believe in. Well, I kind of do, but just trust your instincts because they usually are right.
Yeah.
And then secondly would be my relationship with my husband. We've been married, this coming year will be 40 years. So I think we've done something right. My family, I'm staying healthy in my niche market, which is 40 to 65-year-old women who really have forgotten about themselves. And I have a passion for helping them. So that's it. Mhm.
I love that. I think one of my one of my biggest passions is just realizing that I came from making a lot of big mistakes, and the fact that P90X and a meal plan completely changed the direction of my life. I wouldn't say changed my life, but it turned me in a different direction, started to give me self-confidence as I started to help other people. Like I said before, when you help somebody else, your self-esteem grows, your self-confidence grows when you serve other people. And so it's just been this snowball of growing in self-confidence by helping other people. So I'm super passionate about that. But I'm also passionate about the fact, I was thinking about it the other day as I was sitting here at the cabin. I remember driving home from work, 12-hour days, having my wife at work at nights. And then I remember I would drive down my neighborhood and I would see someone with a camp trailer in their yard, like in their driveway. And I would be like, how the heck does someone afford their mortgage and a camp trailer, let alone have the time to take off work to go use it? Like, it didn't make sense to me how that worked, because I knew I was a hardworking person and I was working all I could, and we were barely still paycheck to paycheck. So it didn't make sense. So when I found the coach opportunity and that I could build a business, I became super passionate, knowing that there were other people out there like me. They were like, there's got to be something out there to help me provide a better life for my family than what I have. So that's like, although I love helping and seeing how Elizabeth has lost all the weight and being an encourager to her, Chris losing 170 pounds of Beachbody Challenge. I love that. But on the other end, I love the coach opportunity and super passionate about that because of what it did for my life, and knowing that there's other people out there that are like, there's got to be something out there for me, and then giving them that opportunity. Okay, let's go on to the next question. What is this is a big question. What is the vision for your life? Like, what do you want your life to look like? One day we're going to be 70, 80, 90, 100, even possibly like Gabby's grandpa. Like, what do you want your life to look like? And I'm going to ask someone that hasn't talked yet, Matthew. I don't know if Matthew can unmute because it's not on video. Matt, can you talk? We'll see.
I can. You got me with a mouthful of apple, but
hey, that works. What's the vision for your life? And no rush, man.
Sorry. The vision for my life. So we just went through the exercise of kind of writing out the vision of, like, my ideal day, which was a pretty eye-opening, incredible experience. But the vision for my life, when I look, at the end, obviously I've got 4 kids. I've got a large family. They mean a lot to me. So the vision for my life is looking back and having influence on them, on the direction of their life, on who they are, instilling values, instilling belief in them. And so I think living a long, healthy life allows me to have that influence, not just on my children, but my grandchildren, my great grandchildren. I say, and I truly believe it, I want to live until I'm 120 years old, and not because I can say that I lived to 120, but because I can, the impact that I can have on my children, grandchildren, great grandchildren, but to do that, requires time and requires, I want to be able to look back and them to see the investment that I had in them, the investment that I had in who they are, what I've taught them. And so when I think about the vision for my life, it's really the impact on the relationships and the people that mean most to me. And that's one of my biggest drivers here, is to be able to invest what I want in them, in those people that mean the most to me.
I love that. I love that. Relationships more than anything else. It makes me think, vision. I had this realization. I was just like in awe because, Gabby. It was weird for me to say like this, but she's an immigrant. She came from a different country, from South America, a different country, when she was 2 years old with her parents. But her grandfather that we just celebrated his 100th birthday, he was the first one to come. He was the pioneer of the family that came from Bolivia to the United States to give a better life for his family. And we were at a church gym, and there was probably 80 to 100 people there that were all, he has 5 kids, and then they're married and they have kids, and then there's grandkids. And like, they rolled him in, they had a king hat and he's in a wheelchair, and they rolled him in the door. I have the chills again. Like, I couldn't imagine like being like, because I have 5 kids, that's my prosperity, right? But getting rolled into a gym full of people that are all there because of your life choices. But it's like not just there, like they were born into this world, but they were all in America, like in a new and better place because of a choice that he made. And I was just like in awe. It kind of helped me like think like, okay, that's what I want. Like, I want a family around me that celebrates and loves each other and comes together and all of that. So I loved that you shared that, Matt. And I hope you live to 120. That'll be crazy.
Plan on it.
Okay. Brenda, we haven't heard from you yet. Or Cindy, we'll go Brenda first. What's the vision for your life?
Basically family as well. I mean, to be self-reliant, to be able to, oh, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
There's construction here too, so I've got earbuds in trying to hear you guys. To have my family, to be able to spend time with grandkids, and I've got 8 grandsons, no granddaughters yet. So it'd be fun to spend time with them, to be able to be financially stable enough that if a tragedy happens in our family again, that I can help, so that the kids don't have to worry, or whoever it happens to doesn't have to worry. When my son passed away in 2018, it would have been nice to have been financially stable enough to go pay 6 months of the electric and 6 months of the mortgage, give her 6 months so that she could just figure stuff out. Hopefully that never happens again. No parent should bury a child, and I've buried 2 So I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, but that's my main goal. That's my why, is to be able to build my business to the point to where if somebody needs help, I can step in.
I love that. I love that that focus also is not on yourself.
Yeah.
It's on serving other people. And I think when each of us gets clear on our vision for our life or our goals in a way that they serve or uplift other people, we're more committed to those goals. It's often here in, you know, in personal development books, a lot from Tony Robbins. I haven't listened to him for a couple of years, but he would always talk about like this idea of like, sometimes someone won't be motivated. Let's say like we have this business opportunity in front of us, but for some reason we're not taking action on it every day. And we're like, why am I not motivated or disciplined, or why don't I have what it takes? All these questions start coming up. But he often shares the idea of like how when there's a tragedy in your family or to a loved one, like maybe your mom has cancer, or maybe your dad comes down with an illness and he can't take care of himself. Even with the bills, somehow we get this drive and everything that we need to go help and serve them and still take care of everything else. Does that make sense? Like we go do it. We go to his house, or we move them in, even though it seems like we can't take on one more thing, and we're able to help that person in that time. And so we have to, in our mind, get to a place of where we're taking action on that right now. And I love how Brenda says, like, if someone were to need something in the future, I want to be prepared financially with my business to be able to go help them out, to serve them. So I love that. That's an awesome vision for your life. Okay, let's go to question number 9. We could probably talk about one question at a time for a whole session, have everybody share, but what limiting beliefs and stories do you hold on to? I'm trying to see whose face made the biggest change. Well, we haven't heard from Cindy yet. I'm going to see if Cindy, are you able to chat? Oh, she's working and can't chat. Okay. I'm going to read Cindy's comment right here first. I want to serve others and make a positive impact in their lives while building a life of freedom, and make my family and granddaughter and making memories with them a priority, and to be able to donate. I love that. Riley, are you able to chat?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm sorry.
That's all right. What limiting beliefs and stories do you hold on to?
Oh my goodness. Mhm. I would say it's the belief that I can build a team and like succeed in this business, but you really can't without a team. So that's been my struggle, and I've always been kind of more of an introvert. So it's definitely let me get out of my comfort zone and definitely be more extroverted, and just to know that I can build the team and I can do this just like anybody else.
Yeah. So the limiting belief is, I heard the limiting belief, but also I heard
Success, I guess
I
it
love
would be.
that.
Yeah, success, I guess.
Okay. So my next question to you, and this is for everybody on here, what does success mean to you?
It means waking up without any regrets, in my opinion, or waking up knowing that you're doing the best that you can, and that you're that you really don't have any regrets.
I love that. I love that you have a definition of success for you to strive after. So my question if that is the definition of success for you, what can you do daily to ensure that you wake up the next day knowing that you are successful?
Hitting all, getting all of the tasks done from the day before, or just making sure there's nothing left on that to-do list, but also mainly it's more about feeling complete at the end of the day, which as much as I can do, which as far as how many I can help, how I can show up, and how I am feeling about my own journey, and then it'll flow into others, hopefully.
Yeah, I believe so as well. I feel inclined to share just some thoughts about showing up the very best you can. Obviously, we have the business activity tracker, monthly goals, HIT Success Club, continuing to advance your business and your rank. In the beginning, I had to create my own rules for success because I had a lot of doubts, like, can I be a good leader? Am I a good leader? Can I be successful in this? Will I be successful in this? And I kind of made my own rule for success. And that's kind of why I'm asking you that question. In my rule, like, to know if I had a successful day was to look at myself at the end of the day, look in the mirror and say, and kind of ask three main questions. Did I believe in myself? Did I believe in body? And did I believe in the company that if someone does the workouts, follows the meal plans, and drinks their Shakeology, will their life improve? And then on the other end, if I have a coach on my team that does that, plus the business activity, will their business grow? And my belief, if I believe that, then okay, that's number two. I believe in body and that it will change and transform someone's life, whether a customer, a coach, or both. And then number three, did I do everything on my to-do list? Now, some days are going to be better than other days. But I kind of made this was my first year, and I apply this today, is look at myself in the mirror at the end of the day. Did I do those three things? If so, I had a successful day. Now, that leads to another thing. We don't want anyone feeling guilty or I'm not doing good because you miss. How many of you guys have missed a day in the last week? Okay, every single one in here. So I don't want all 9 of us to go moping around the next day and be like, I'm a failure. I didn't follow through with my word. I knew that I wasn't good enough to do this, and go on that. Does that serve anybody? No. The same thing. What do you guys want your clients to do if they crush 4 days of their workout and their nutrition and then they miss a day? Do you want them to go moping around the next day because they missed a day? What do you want them to do?
Celebrate that they crushed 4 days.
Celebrate that they crushed 4 days. And then what would you say next after that day they missed?
To reach out and, just help us to let us as coaches help you to get back on the track so you don't miss the second day.
Yep. And I love Matt added something on top of that, Jamie, is every day is a new day. And my advice is, okay, you missed yesterday, let's crush today. Like, let's make the next positive step in the right direction. Think about on a stairwell. You're walking up the stairs, each day is one step up the stairwell. Maybe you miss one day, you stay there. But if we start feeling bad about it and not taking steps, then we start going backwards. So it's just take the next step up that stairwell. I have an example. I have Gabby's cousin from that 100th birthday party reached out, and I'm working with him on his transformation. His wife's not ready to join him, but he started. And like, we were checking in every day, like, day 2, brother. I'm like, heck yes, let's go. He's sending me selfies after his workout. And then I was like, how'd the rest of your week go? Bro, this was on Thursday at night. I've been out since Wednesday. Leg day killed me and I'm barely able to walk. On a positive note, I'm following my meal plan. So my message was like, I'm glad to hear that you've been eating well and following your plan. So celebrating him, I want you to do a little extra stretching, and then tomorrow just pick up where you left off. So just pick up on the next day. So I just want to remind you guys, like, what is success for you? What does that mean? Like my example, like yours doesn't have to be what mine is, but looking at myself every night and being like, okay, I believed in myself. Let's say I didn't do everything. Okay, I believed in myself. I believe in body. I believe that these meal plans, these workouts, Shakeology will change someone's life. I believe if someone does their activity tracker daily and believes in this business, that they'll earn income and it will change their family's life. Okay. And then the next thing, maybe I did 9 out of the 10 things on the business activity tracker. I'll look at myself and be like, okay, you did 9 out of the 10 things. That's pretty dang good. But tomorrow we're going to do that one thing we missed first. We're going to make sure that we do that thing first and get that out of the way so we don't miss it again. So notice it's not beating myself up like I didn't complete it. It's okay, tomorrow, what can we do to redirect and get back on track? Okay, Cindy, because she can't talk, I'm going to read hers. Limiting beliefs that I'm not good enough. I feel like I can't get my own nutrition under control. How can I lead others? What do I have to offer others? However, I don't want to regret not overcoming my fears of other people's opinions and not trying. Also, I feel like God is calling me to trust him and step out of my comfort zone with coaching. This has been a huge struggle for me. Anybody else feel like that sometimes? Okay. Anybody want to give some advice to Cindy? I don't want to be the only one. Anybody experience that and have some words of wisdom?
I would say, as far as your nutrition, pick one form of nutrition plan that you like to do, because if you don't like it, you're not going to do it, right? So find something that you love, that brings you passion and joy. Remember that miracles and weight loss don't happen overnight. It's a it's a daily thing. And like fitness, it's consistency. And then if you feel like God is calling you to do this work, then listen to him and he will bless you.
I believe it. Yep. And you're gonna, it's kind of, it's not funny, but okay, so we've hit Success Club 110, 140 months this month consecutively. And there's been numerous months where sometimes I'm at 0 by like the 25th. And I'm like, I look at my follow-up list and it's like, they're not there. The people aren't there. And I literally work my business with that mindset of like, okay, God, I am going, like every day when I wake up, when I do my affirmations, like I'm going to hit Success Club 10. I'm building leaders. I'm helping 2 new diamonds by the end of the year. Like all of the affirmations and goals I have, it's basically like me calling God out, just like he's calling me out. Be like, I'm going to do the work. I don't know where these people are, but please help me find them. Help me be open to solutions, to speaking to the right people, to asking for referrals, that the right person lands on my post at the right time, that the right person watches my stories, and that I notice it and that I can reach out to them. And so trusting like that as well. But then doing everything in your power to do it as well. You can't just post on your social media and sit back on the couch watching Netflix and be like, okay, I'm waiting for that message to come into my inbox. No, you got to be doing all of the things. Okay. And then as far as
I just wanted to say one thing, if it's okay.
yes.
I just wanted to say, like, share your struggle with everybody. Make a post about it, because people don't want to follow people who are perfect on their nutrition. They don't want to follow people who are perfect on their workouts. They are inspired by it, but at the same time, they're like, well, I guess I'll never be as good as that person. But some of my most the posts that I got the most comments on were when I was sharing, hey, I totally screwed up on my nutrition this week, and I feel like I'm a failure, but I know that if I get back on track, that I'll be, I'll be right back where I started. It's not like I totally failed. Like, just sharing your struggle, and that you're not perfect with your nutrition, but you're trying. You're not perfect with your workouts, but you're doing them when you can. Just sharing those things like makes you a real person to people, and just like and makes you more relatable. So
I love that. You know, I had this goes for the business as well, to go exactly along with what Lacey's sharing. I did a team call once for another big team inside of the company, and there was probably 200 people on there. And they announced me at the beginning. You know, they have how if you have a guest speaker, they're like, so and so is Success Club, 140 months, you know, Legacy Club helped create 3 other members of his team. Legacy, they went and did this whole list, data 5, right? And interesting story is I did these 10 questions on that call, but I answered them all super vulnerable about what are my fears, what am I afraid of, what are my passions, you know, what's the vision for my life. I answered them all. But before I started that call, I was like, before we even get started on this, I want you to know that I'm a current 4-star diamond, not 14. Well, I'm a paid. I just told them my current paid rank is 4-star in my, this was probably 2 years ago, 4-star in my first business center. My second business center that they said was 8 is now a 1-star diamond. And my third business center is still diamond. One second. So I started with that, and everybody, I mean, we talked about a lot of things on that call, but the amount of messages I got at the end that were like, oh my gosh, I felt alone because I was elite last year, 5-star diamond, and I'm a 1-star right now. And I felt like I was the only one that was struggling with my team. And so the same thing like Lacey shared with nutrition or with workouts, like I was way more relatable to everyone on that call by saying like, hey, like I'm showing up every day trying to figure this out just like you guys are. So thank you for sharing that, Lacey. The last question, let's go over. We kind of did this one already, but what does success mean to you? But also, what does failure mean to you? So what does success mean to you? What does failure mean to you? I'm going to ask Kim. Kim, you get a double because I don't get to see you on live calls with your schedule.
Let me start with the failure question. What does failure look like to me? Giving up, not trying. It resonates very much for me, as far, particularly because of my dance background. If you don't ever try it or do it, how will you know if you can? And so for me, failing is not even putting forth the effort. So if I can try and say that I did the best that I could do with what God gave me each and every single day, that's success for me. And if I can show that to my kids, my daughters, that much more. And then also my students and their parents and their families. You know, I'm not a 21-year-old dancer anymore. I'll be 48 next year and I'm still doing it. And I've done it for over 25 years and I love it. And that to me is successful. So I need to remember that with this, is that I need to continue trying every single day. And you learn something every single day and you get better every single day.
Crazy how that works, huh?
Funny how that works.
I was going to ask you, because you have the opportunity as a dance teacher to mentor, mostly young girls to dance. What sets apart the successful dancers from those that are unsuccessful?
The drive, the ability. I mean, there's definitely some level of ability that comes into play, but I think from my perspective, it's always the dancer that's willing to put in the work over the dancer that's just naturally talented. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of naturally talented kids that are just lazy. They don't want to do the work. And then they wonder why they don't get the part, or they wonder why they don't get, the front row or the solo or whatever. And it 99% of the time, it's going to go to the kids or the students that are willing to work their butt off for it.
Yeah, I love that. I was thinking about it because I have 2 competition dancers,
I know.
in my family. And there's one of them that's got the front row in like every spot this year. But the crazy thing, and I hate that I have to say that sometimes I get annoyed because they're supposed to be in bed. But there's one that when they're supposed to be in bed and I'm sitting down to watch a show with Gabby at like 11 p.m., that's like pushing the couches out in the living room and like, let me show you one dance. And then I get to watch like 5 times that dance. She's like, oh, let me go more all out. And she'll like, so she's dancing, she's at her dance studio practicing, she's in the basement dancing, and then she's dancing to show us. And so it's no surprise to me when she's like showing me like, Dad, everybody here is like tucked down and I'm standing up in the front doing this. And I'm like, I can see why, because you're in the house work, you're working on it. So
Yeah. There's
Um,
definitely a passion there for it. If there's a passion there for it, you're going to put in the work and it's not going to feel like work.
Yep. Absolutely. Thanks for sharing that. So we only have about 5 more minutes. I did promise the kids this would only go an hour. So who else wants to answer that question? What does success mean to you, or what does failure mean to you, or a combination of both? Lacey, was your hand going up? You're not just scratching your head, right?
I could answer that. Can you hear me I had to switch headphones and this one's been wet. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. Sorry, I muted.
Oh, yeah, I can answer that anyway. I feel like success to me goals, but becoming the person that I want to become. So like not just, but being that person that accomplished the goals and being that person that just being that person that you expect to be in the future. That would be success to me. Realizations that I'm, that I become that person. Allegra, I need you to shh. And that I expected to become when I do my visualizations, that's success to me.
Oh, you cut out, Lacey. Yeah, we can't hear you now.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, that headphone's been wet, so it's, it's a bad one now. Anyway, just becoming that person that you expect to be, being the influence that I want to be, the coach I want to be, being able to inspire people to try harder and be a better person themselves. That would be success to me. And then failure to me would just be like what was talked about before, where just stopping, just like quitting. That would be failure. You can't fail if you don't stop trying. So
I love that. I was thinking about that the other day. I was having a conversation with Gabby about some life goals and working on building a house and stuff. And I was like, I'm 41. I was like, I have like 25 more years of working life in me. I was like, a typical retirement age. I'm like 25 years. Like we've only been married for 16 years. I haven't even been out of high school that long. And it was like kind of mind blowing to me because at the same time, I feel like I'm getting older, but then I was like, there's still a long time to go. And so I was thinking about success and failure, and it was very much along the same lines of like, I don't want to stop. Like failure to me would be stopping. Here's a big failure to me. Failure to me would be 2 things I want to touch on. Me getting overwhelmed or discouraged about maybe my rank or where my income is at for some reason. Failure to me would be stopping, even though there's a lot of people counting on me to be an example to them. And then my example being that of quitting. That would be failure to me, is being an example of quitting when things get hard. So that's number 1. Another example of a failure to me would be to achieve every financial or business goal in the world, but falling short on being a good father or husband, and that falling apart. Having a great business, but no family. That would be absolute failure in my case. So that's failure for me. Success to me means that I get out of a limiting belief, or what do I call it? A habit or a routine of my past and we talked about this last week, of quitting when it gets hard, of moving on to something else, being like, okay, this is hard. I'm going to go start fresh somewhere else where it's all the brand new skills that are easier to learn than taking where I'm at and going to the next level. That to me would be a failure. Okay, we are at the hour. I want to say thank you, all you guys, for being on. I absolutely loved seeing you guys on here live with me on a Thanksgiving week. I hope you guys spend some good time with your families, that you enjoy the dessert, and then you just pick up the next day and do the best that you can. Okay. All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, Scotty.
Yep, you're welcome. It was good to see you guys all here. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.